Start with an HB pencil for sketching. However you labeled your grid on your reference, that's how you're going to label your drawing paper. For mine, I'm doing letters on the top and numbers on the side. Draw large basic shapes first. So I'm noticing that my zebra snout is kind of like a giant triangle. So I'm going to do my best to draw this triangle in the same box as the boxes in my reference image. It's probably not going to be a perfect geometric shape, but if we have this basic shape first, it'll help us map it out. Next, I'm noticing that the snout is a circle, and the circle is inside box 4B, 5B, and a little bit of 4C. My next tip is use a viewfinder. Create a simple viewfinder with scrap paper, or you can just cover parts of your reference image using sticky notes. This can help you isolate specific areas of the image, making it easier to focus on one part at a time. I'm noticing that the line starts on this side of the viewfinder, and that it comes down almost below the halfway point. The shape in the bottom kind of looks like a triangle, so that's what I'm going to draw. Take away the viewfinder, and then connect it with the previous box. You can also look at the negative space and try to draw that shape. Sometimes it might be a little bit easier to look at the background rather than the foreground. Instead of trying to draw the entire image at once, break it down into smaller sections. This makes the process more manageable and allows you to focus on one part at a time. So for this particular box, it has a lot of detail, so I'm going to use sticky notes to block off this section. So instead of looking at a 2-inch by 2-inch box, now this is a 1-inch by 1-inch box. Another way you can isolate your reference image is do it digitally. So first you can crop your image to the box that you want to focus on, save this, and when you save it as a copy. Then use markup, and you can use the ruler feature to draw a straight line to further divide the box if you need. For this example, I'm going to be dividing the box diagonally. Depending on what you're drawing in your reference, decide on what kind of lines will work best for you. Here are some tips to help you draw. Focus on the contour lines or the outline. Use your pencil to measure angles. Use your viewfinder to focus on one square at a time. Don't forget to use the halfway marks as references. Don't depend too heavily on your eraser. For this drawing, I'm not even using an eraser, but rather just sketching over my lines, and then I'll clean them up later. Lastly, be patient and persistent. Drawing from a reference image takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself, try not to get discouraged. Remember, the goal is not just to replicate the reference image, but to understand the shapes, proportions, and details, and enhancing your overall drawing skills.